This is one of the many talks that they've had at Google, a part of the Talks at Google series, believe it or not, aptly named, right? But this one happens to be with author, professor, historian, and really philosopher Yuval Noah Harari, an author of two books that I'm sure you've heard of and may have even read, Homo Deus and Sapiens, two books that I highly recommend because I believe they're really doing a good job of approximating truth, or at least giving a plausible and logical explanation as to why we are where we are and where we may be headed as a species.
That nobody knows how the world would look like in 2050, except that it will be very different from today, because the one thing that they will need for sure is the ability to reinvent themselves repeatedly. It's really the first time in history that we don't really know what particular skills to teach young people, because we just don't know in what kind of world they will be living. If traditionally, people built identities like stone houses with very deep foundations, now it makes more sense to build identities like tents that you can fold and move elsewhere.
No one knows what the world will look like in 50, 40, 30, really even in 10 years, because there's just too much uncertainty, too many unknowns, and too many possibilities to account for. Reinventing yourself, whether it be professionally or personally, will be essential, in my opinion, if you're going to weather what I call an inevitable storm of change. Really, the only certainty we have in this life will be change. And that's why I believe that a broad, robust, and deep view of yourself, this world, the people, and the contents of the world will be better than a narrow and specialized one, because it gives you a more stable foundation to operate off of, and it also allows you to spot opportunities and to avoid obstacles with more skill. It's just smart.
So far in history, in order to organize humans on a large scale, you always had to have some story, some fiction, which humans invented, but which enough humans believed in order to agree on how to behave. It's not just religion. This is the obvious example. The same is true in something like in the economy. Corporation, you can't have a modern economy without corporations like Google and without money, like dollars. Corporations and currencies, they are also just stories we invented. Google has no physical or biological reality. It is a story created by the powerful shamans we call lawyers. They will tell you it's a legal fiction. It's not this chair, it belongs to Google, I think. But this is not, it's not it. It's not the money, it's not the manager, it's not the workers. It's a story created by lawyers. Even if many of the workers and managers are killed, it just hires new ones. And it still has money in the bank. And even if there is no money in the bank, they can get a loan and build new buildings and hire new people, and everything is okay.
We create these stories and these narratives to help us coexist and to structure civilization. And over enough time, they begin to take on a realness and a life of their own, and they can seem more real than a human being, but they aren't, and we need to continually remind ourselves of that. A grain of sand is more real in an objective physical sense than they are, but we live short lives and we acclimate to things very quickly, so we often forget that. But we shouldn't, though. Every one of them is up for review and replacement, in my opinion, and it doesn't mean that they should be or that they must be, but I believe that they should all be audited periodically for accuracy and applicability to the world and to our lives. I'll put a link to the full video with Yuval in the description below if you want to check out that. Let me know what you think about that video, about this one, anything really. I'm open. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you already haven't done so, and follow me on medium.com for more articles to support me there, and also sign up for my email list on my website. Thanks for watching.